I remember the smell first: salt, ash, and cheap whiskey. My vacation home, my sanctuary, reduced to chaos. The front door hung open like a broken jaw. Furniture shattered, glass glittering across the marble like frost. And him, my brother, passed out on the couch, drooling onto a pile of burnt photographs. I stood there in silence. No shouting, no tears, just stillness. The next morning, my parents arrived, faces stiff with denial. My father looked at the mess, then at me and said, "He's just young. You can afford it." I almost laughed, not because it was funny, but because I suddenly understood everything. They never saw him as accountable. They saw me as the safety net. So I said calmly, "Don't worry, I'll handle it." And I did. Backstory setup. Establish the relationship. Growing up, I thought being the eldest meant being the example. I worked, saved, built something from nothing. My brother Daniel was the golden child who could do no wrong. When he wrecked my car at 17, I paid for it. When he borrowed money, he never returned. I let it go. When he failed, I made excuses for him. That's the curse of being the responsible one. You become invisible, only noticed when you're useful. So I bought that house by the coast, a quiet place to escape the noise. It was the first thing I owned that was mine. Not shared, not given, not stolen. And yet, somehow, he found a way to ruin it, too. Discovery of betrayal. At first, I thought it was just another careless mistake. A party gone too far, some broken glass, maybe a few dents. But when I looked deeper, I found the truth. He didn't just destroy the place. He sold my wine collection, pawned the art, rented the house for private parties. The neighbors told me he'd been coming for weeks, calling it his summer spot. One even said, "You should be proud of him. He finally owns something." I smiled politely. Inside, something in me snapped quietly, like a wire breaking under pressure. Shift in mindset. Strategic planning begins. Anger would have been easy. I didn't want easy. I wanted effective. So I called my lawyer, then my accountant, then my insurance company. Piece by piece, I began stitching together a plan, not to punish, but to educate. First, I documented everything: receipts, photos, even witness statements. Then I filed a property damage claim and listed Daniel as the liable party. When my parents called to talk it out, I told them I was already taking care of it. They took that as reassurance. They shouldn't have execution of the plan. I had the home repaired meticulously. Every broken tile replaced. Every wall repainted. I even upgraded the furniture. The total cost, $146,300. Then I sent the invoice to 3 recipients: my insurance company, my parents, and Daniel. The note was simple: "Per your advice that I can afford it, please find attached the breakdown of costs. As discussed, I'm handling it." A week later, my father called. His voice trembled. "You can't expect us to pay that." "Oh, I don't," I said. "But Daniel can." I transferred the house title temporarily under his name. The claims in his. The silence that followed was perfect. The realization, slow, sharp, settled in. They understood. For the first time, they really did. Climax and confrontation. When Daniel finally showed up at my door, he was furious. "You ruined my credit, man. They're freezing my accounts. Do you even care what you've done?" I looked him straight in the eye. "You trashed my home, sold my things, and used my name to do it. You made your mess. I just gave it back to you." He tried to hit me then. I didn't move. He stopped halfway, realizing I wasn't fighting. I was finished. "You always had someone to clean up after you," I said. "Not anymore. Resolution and emotional release. It's been 6 months. Daniel declared bankruptcy. My parents stopped calling, at least not with advice. The house by the coast is quieter now, cleaner." Last week, I sent out a family email. Subject: New family gathering policy. Effective immediately. All family events will take place at neutral venues. Damages, emotional or physical, will be billed directly to the responsible party. No exceptions. No one replied. I poured myself a drink, sat by the window, and watched the tide come in. Funny thing about boundaries, they're invisible until someone crosses them. Now, mine are written, signed, and enforceable. I don't hate them. Not anymore. But they finally learned what it costs to mistake kindness for weakness. And that lesson was worth every cent.